Hey class, Skylar Harding here. So this morning I went through the bodyweight overhead squats again, followed by the foam rolling for the right side only, followed by the stretching for the right side first, followed by the left side, and then followed up with the last set of overhead bodyweight squats. Going through the foam rolling, the most tender spots for me were pretty similar to last week, specifically my right glute and my right hamstring. I think that's primarily still due to the sciatica and the tension that I carry on that side of my lower body. A lot of the time it is improving, but it's still there a little bit. My left side, hamstring, glute were not as sore, and my calves were definitely not as tender as they were last week. I would say that's probably because I'm not as far into the training week as I was last week. Last week I recorded this video on Friday morning, right, and I had 4 days of training in. And this week I've only had 2 so far, so I've only gotten 1. Actually, I've gotten 0 of my running, sprinting, jumping days in so far, so that's probably why I have a little bit less tension in comparison to last week. I had already done 2 of those training days, so that's probably why my lower body is a little less sore now than it was in the discussion video from last week. Going into that second set of overhead squats, again, I felt a little bit better, a little bit smoother, right? A little bit more mentally prepared to handle the movement. That first set's a little sticky, this is my first real movement of the day. It didn't feel great. That second set felt a little bit smoother. The right side, which is obviously the side I foam rolled and stretched, did feel a little bit better. I don't think it was, crazy, like, oh, the right side felt great and the left side felt awful kind of thing. The right side felt a little bit smoother, but I think really the foam rolling and the stretching on the right side and only the stretching on the left side kind of just helped balance me out, right? Because that tension I mentioned earlier that I carry in the right side of my body, it's a little bit more, it's a little bit stiffer. I got to kind of wake that part of my body up, get it moving a little bit, give it a little more thorough attention than I do the left side. So I think doing that simply kind of helped balance me out and feel a little bit more equal on both sides, allowing the overhead squats to feel a little bit smoother. So I think the stretching played a little bit of a role. I think the foam rolling also helps a lot. I think foam rolling for me makes me feel a little bit more prepared to move than static stretching does, but obviously both in conjunction is probably our best bet.